Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Hope you guys are doing well. Let's chop it up. Denali Smith in the building. Good morning, sir. Yeah, man, we back at it, man. We've got a fight. Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford. Love it or hate it, we got a fight, so we might as well enjoy it. What's going on, Ralph Chestnut in the building? All things. What's going on, Ray Patterson? Good morning. Bank Hayes, what's going on, man? Gabe Toss in the building. What's happening? The beautiful Barbara D. Good morning to the beautiful Barbara D. Gilbert Jimenez in the building. What's going on, sir? Hope you well. Terrell W. says, Grand Rising, Fanon. Thank you, man. I appreciate you, sir. Real shit 30 said, going for Bud. Yeah, I think I'm going for Bud. I don't know. It's kind of like, can they both lose? Hold on one second. All right, yeah, that's better. I'm sorry, I had to adjust that. Everything healthy. What's going on, man? Good morning. DA say, let's talk this boxing. I got Canelo. What's up, BMS? I mean, you know, like I'm of mixed emotions with this fight. I'm of mixed emotions with it. David Tesane said, Bud made a huge mistake pissing Canelo off. Bud is going to sleep. Well, I don't think it's going to make a difference whether or not he pushed him or not as to whether or not he's going to go to sleep. But I'm still confused. Do they have a venue for this fight yet? You got to draw. You got to draw. I mean, that would be funny. I just think it's going to be a big money grab, but I hope it's a terrific fight, you know? I hope it's a terrific fight. Unfortunately, Canelo's career is marred with just dumb shit. Julian Baxter said, I don't see where Bud punked Canelo at all. There are a lot of people that said Bud is in Terence Crawford's head because he forced Terence Crawford, because that Bud is in Canelo's head because Canelo was the first to push Bud. Even though I looked at what happened and really Terence Crawford pushed Bud first. Bud pushed Canelo first. It wasn't the other way around. Bud pushed him with his chest. If EJ comes back better than ever at his natural weight, he can still land a Canelo fight with 2 big wins. I can see it happening and then retiring. That would be great. But more than likely not. Look, man, I'm going to put they keep saying Allegiant, but I'm like, they say Allegiant, but they have a football game there that same day. You would think that they would have it settled before they had the actual announcements for the fight, that they would know where the venue is. They say Allegiant, but let me check out the Allegiant Stadium. I'm pretty sure Allegiant Stadium still has the UNLV game there. UNLV, Allegiant, it's still at Allegiant Stadium. It says Allegiant Stadium in the afternoon, so I don't get what they're going to do about that. So Edwin punked Keyshawn Davis too, right? Because it's a similar scenario. Look, man, I don't think Canelo Alvarez punked Terence Crawford, so you don't think that's me saying it. I don't think Terence Crawford punked him at all. I think Canelo Alvarez rather looks irritated by the whole situation. Banks said it's on a Friday. What's on a Friday? The Canelo Alvarez fight's on a Friday? Bud was trying to intimidate Canelo by trying to shove him back with his chest. Yeah, he was. That's what I saw. He tried to push him back with his chest. So Canelo pushed off. The fight is on a Friday. So it's not on the 13th. It's on the 12th. Oh, look, man. Is the fight going to be the fight is on a Friday? Man, Look, you guys are making. I want to see the next presser. Yeah, cool. I'm gonna try to get amped up about this fight. I'm gonna try to get excited about this fight. Try to get excited about the fight. On a Friday, that's bad news for sure. So it is on the 12th. It's in Allegiant Stadium on a Friday. Do you know how hard it is to be able to get hotel rooms on that Friday? Seeing as that those rooms are already all taken up by the UNLV football game. You know how hard it's. I think it's going to be. No, well, actually, there's nothing but hotels in Las Vegas. So, yeah, they'll be able to find something. He said having press conferences and not having an official venue seems strange. Never seen this before. KQ says, Lufanon, I hope you had a good weekend. Bro, no, I had a absolutely fucking terrible weekend. I can't lie, bro. My dad got sick. And so my dad went back. My dad's in the hospital. So that was like a very scary situation. So that was not a good part of this weekend. I have a business partnership with this company, along with Top Rank and PBC, and they must have messed up and had a some copyright issue with Showtime Boxing. Thanks, Kokui. Appreciate you, man. It's not on. It's third. How can it be on the 13th of Saturday when there's a UNLV game in the stadium? Just tell me where the fucking fight's going to be, please. Look, I'm not saying this to be a jackass, bro. I'm just saying, will you just act like you got some damn sense, bro? If it's on Netflix, you just can't watch it whenever. Like Netflix everywhere else, probably since. Hold on, I'm sorry. What is this? It's on Netflix. You can't just watch it whenever. Like everything else on there. Probably trying to make sure too many people at once can't view and crash shit again. I'm not sure. Thank you, BH, man. I appreciate you, man. Thank you, Barbara D. Appreciate you, man. Thank you, Troy Hutch. Yeah. So, he's in the hospital right now. This happened yesterday. Kurt Hurd say you can watch it. No, what do you mean? I'm not sure what that means. Thank you, Barbara D. I appreciate you. Yeah, it's it's a tough situation, that's for sure. It's posted as the fight will be on Friday, the 12th. That's what I just looked up. Okay, so Netflix crashed last time. That's hilarious. All right, so let me see something. I don't know why Turkey Al-Sheikh is in the business of boxing, bro. Just come on, man. All right, StubHub. Let's go to StubHub or SeatGeek. It says Saturday to be determined. The time to be determined. But it says Allegiant Stadium. SeatGeek is selling tickets. This is so ass backwards, bro. You can literally buy tickets to two different events in the same event on the same stadium on the same day. Netflix was very laggy for the Tyson exhibition because they probably don't have a lot of streaming. Because of their streaming capabilities. Rising Martin, what's going on, Jay Henderson? How you feeling, man? Turkey and boxing because it's the easy way to clean money in America. I mean, I just don't get it, bro. Like, you're not trying to make money. Like, you're there not trying to make money. It's just so Wagwan, Martin. What going on? Hey, what up, Richard Paris? I'm good, brother. Life is good. We just keeping it pushing, man. We keeping it pushing around here, man. That streaming was crazy. Yeah, I didn't see it. So I'll watch this one. So we'll see. Hopefully it's not super laggy for this fight. Because, look, it would be nice if man, I don't know, man. It's just two bad guys in my opinion. It was good to see Max Kellerman back talking boxing in that presser. Yeah, but at the same time, Max Kellerman left boxing, and I was very glad when Max Kellerman left. So, like, like David's saying, I saw that Max Kellerman was there, My thought was Max Kellerman acted like a racist fucking buffoon for the last 4 or 5 years that he was on HBO. Max Kellerman was cool. He was, but dude, let's not forget what Jim Lampley and Max Kellerman were behaving like when they were still on television. They were behaving like absolute jackasses. So, excuse me if I'm not over, if my nostalgia isn't going to last for very long, bro. Okay? They don't even have a legitimate crew. Don't have a legitimate crew to call a fight, man. So, look, my nostalgia for hearing Max Kellerman is going to go away the second he starts attacking black fighters. David Sain said, I understand where you're coming from. He said, yeah, that's why ESPN got rid of his ass. His views were trash. Yeah, it's like you're bringing them back, but they were assholes for the last 8 years of the time that they were on HBO. Jim Lampley was the biggest. Jim Lampley, Larry Merchant, and those guys were so biased because they were trying to create. I mean, they were responsible for a lot of the crap, man. You journalists think that you guys are actually good for boxing. You should shut the fuck up and just say what date the fight is. I'm sorry. Sometimes he's always doing interviews when drunk. Oh, that's Jim Lampley. That's Larry Merchant was doing that shit. That was Larry Merchant. That was Larry Merchant that did that shit. Lloyd, man, let me tell you something. Larry Merchant hated Muhammad Ali. Them niggas, I'm trying to tell you, man, these dudes have their attitudes, their egos were so big that they literally believed that they knew that they were the ones that could determine who the great fighters were. The boxing writers a lot of times want to be the ones that are credited with discovering fighters. They want to believe I think they believe fighters owe them a certain degree of loyalty. I also think that they believe that they're better than fighters because they have certain educational attainments that most fighters don't have. So, they talk down to fighters. But if that's what you want, okay, cool. You got to find some type of familiarity, some way to get a vibe. But really, you're just biting off shit. Really. I don't know how far you're going to get doing an imitation of HBO boxing when HBO boxing went out of business because of HBO boxing. Man, when they were all cool, when they were looking at fighters, they were like, yeah, when they were green. But man, once those guys got that damn attitude and they got them egos flying, you know who's the most arrogant dude in all of boxing? One perfect example of somebody doing this is Jake Paul. Jake Paul. The way not Jake Paul. Mike Coppinger. Did anybody see what Mike Coppinger said to Jake Paul? I'm telling you, bro, that shit was absolutely ridiculous. Ridiculous. Didn't know how Brian Kinney had a job. Max and Stephen A. Smith's show was dumpster juice. Yeah, it was terrible. That's because Mike Coppinger's a man. Mike Coppinger told asked Jake Paul what Jake Paul would know about fighting. What would you know about fighting? Because what did they say? I think Jake Paul criticized the press conference because they were like, why would you have the fighters come out before the managers? And you put it out of order. They're like, you disrespected the fighters by putting on, basically featuring Turkey Al-Sheikh and featuring those guys in that press conference and taking it away from the fighters. So Mike Coppinger responded, what would you know about fighting? Mike Coppinger. Jake Paul will whoop your ass, Mike Coppinger. Nigga, you just figured out you needed to take that goddamn turtleneck off your fucking neck. Look, bro, Mike Coppinger, Jake Paul will beat your ass, bro. You can say what you want, but but that 60-year-old he fought, Mike Tyson, would beat your ass half to death. That 58-year-old Mike Tyson would beat you half to death, bro. Okay? Everybody knows that Jake Paul is doing what Jake Paul is doing is exhibitions and entertainment. But the fact of the matter is, bro, Mike Coppinger, you're not a boxer. So you don't have the right to tell boxers to tell somebody that is a boxer that they ain't a boxer. Like, it's the same arrogance that allows boxing fighters that, I mean, I'm telling you, these boxing writers, not fuck this shit where you say you ain't never fought, you ain't never put on a pair of gloves. Look, bro, I'm telling you, niggas have never fought in your life. I don't care about whether you fought with gloves on or not. Bro, you won't have enough courage to really fight nobody. Just randomly fight somebody, just like you don't even know who they are. They got a problem with you, you got a problem with them, and you got enough courage to stand up and fight. Bro, you ain't doing that shit. Y'all ain't doing that. You talking all nice and kind and polite and walking to your car and getting to the car and then calling the cops on whoever it was that got in your face. You know what I mean? So, man, to hear Mike Coppinger sit there and lecture Jake Paul about saying Jake Paul can't, man, get out of here, man. David Tassane said Jake Paul is a promoter himself. Jake Paul is more dangerous than Shakur. Mike was checked by Core. Oh, did Mike Coppinger, Shakur said something to him? I certainly hope. I didn't see if Shakur Stevenson said something to Mike Coppinger about saying something to Jake Paul, but he ain't got no reason talking to Jake Paul, bro. Get out of here, man. Jake Paul is really fighting, bro. He's really getting punched in the face, dog. He really is. He's getting in the ring with Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., and Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. is a former world champion who will beat your ass. I don't get why you niggas want to act, why y'all want to act like y'all so brave with y'all so brave when somebody else is doing the fighting. You know? Y'all real brave. Oh, yeah. I saw that. Okay, yeah. I thought he might have said something about that what Mike Coppinger said yesterday, which I thought was crazy, bro. Yeah, he basically pushed him with his chest, sized him up to push him with his chest. Bud feeling mighty froggy these days, dog. Man. Hey, Mark Kriegel is always drunk on Top Rank shows. I don't know how Tim Bradley and Joe Destrehan deal with his long-winded ass. You think he be drunk? Hey, man, he be tipsy, but he's good, man. Mark Kriegel. But see, Mark Kriegel is one of those guys that are, the journalists. Kokui. Julian Back said, Fanon spin the truth. Look, man, I'm just telling you, bro. Look, I don't believe Mike Coppinger will throw hands at all. I don't believe he would throw hands at all, dog. At all. I don't believe you're going to be fighting nobody, dog. I think you're one of these. You know what I mean? I think you like to hang around tough guys, Mike Coppinger. That's what I think. I think you're a guy that likes to hang around tough guys. There are people like that like to hang around tough guys. They want to be the ones to say, yeah, I know this guy, I know that guy. Yeah, dog, but you're not all that tough, bro. Anyway, before the Padley fight, Mike interviewed Shakur Stevenson. Yeah, Shakur is my guy, though, man. I'm gonna rock with Shakur. Barbara D said, "What's up to Troy Hutch?" But it's Mike Coppinger versus Ellie Sethback. Who wins in a 4-rounder? I don't know. Ellie Sethback's kind of little. And so I don't know, man. Ellie Sethback. I haven't seen Mike Coppinger in person to say, Kate Kokui. I haven't seen him in person to see. I'd have to size him up to know who I would take in that particular thing, because size matters. You know what I mean? And I know that Ellie Sethback's kind of a little guy, so I couldn't tell you. I know who's gonna win in a fight between Mike Coppinger and me, though. I won't tell you. I can't tell you what Ellie Sethback would do with Mike Coppinger. I can tell you what the fuck I do to Mike Coppinger's ass. I drag his ass. Martin, did you see Charleston White fight yesterday? He won by stoppage. He beat the Islander guy. Hell no, I didn't pay attention to that shit. You guys are making a mockery of boxing, man. You guys have absolutely positively made a mockery of the sport of boxing, dog. Plant win at Ellie the week of his fight. Look, man. How tall am I? I'm about 6'2". I'm about 6'2". I know what the fuck I do to Mike Coppinger, bro. Trust me, Mike Coppinger don't want no smoke with me, bro. Mike Cop don't want no smoke. What's up, Sire the Ruler? I ain't seen you in a minute, man. What's going on, man? Hopefully we can get this boxing back going. Man, Canelo been getting hit by 200-plus pounders for a good minute. He can give it and take it in the depths of the abyss. You know, that is definitely true. Canelo Alvarez has got a great chin. But, you know, your chin is only going to hold up to so many steroids, okay? At a certain point in time, your opponent can take enough steroids to overcome your chin. No joke. You know what I mean? You can work around that with enough good juice where you can hit him. If you can hit and not get hit, and you got that juice, you can overcome that. What's up, David Howard? How you feeling, brother? You know, you can overcome that, man, with enough good juice in your system. You know, you get a good enough snack. You get enough snack in your system. Man, Bud looked like he weighed 200 pounds, bro. Look, man, I'm telling you right now, any of you dudes that think Bud is going to knock out Canelo, if Bud knocks out Canelo, I'm accusing him of juicing as soon as that shit's over, bro. I'm telling you right now. What's up, son? I'm doing good, brother. Good to see you cooking, bro. Man, it's good to see you, bro. It's always good to see, man. It makes me feel good when I see guys that haven't been around for a long time come back by the channel because, you know, we grinding over here, dog. You know what I'm saying? We over here grinding for this boxing talk. Grinding for the boxing talk, dog. But for real, Fanon, please explain how this Crawford fight is not legacy fight for my barbershop argument. How it is not a legacy fight? Not a legacy fight for who? Canelo? It's not a legacy fight for Canelo because this is a guy that Canelo should beat. For Terence Crawford, it is a legacy fight. It is. It's a big accomplishment for Canelo. So if I was in your barbershop having that argument, I would split the argument in half. And I would say I would grant you that it's a legacy fight for Bud. It's not a legacy fight for Canelo. For Canelo, it's a cash grab, is what it is. You know what I mean? But for Bud, it is a legacy fight. It is. It's something because if he says, yeah, I went up to 160, I held all 4 belts at 168 pounds, that's something I would consider to be a legacy fight. You know? I think that's fair to call that a legacy fight for Bud. But it's not a But if Canelo knocks out Bud, it's not a legacy fight. It's not a legacy fight for Canelo if Canelo knocks Bud out. You know? It's a win-win for Bud. How is that a legacy on the line? No, I didn't say his legacy is on the line. That's different. His legacy is not on the line because Bud can get knocked out and nobody's going to think any less of Bud. No, it's not a legacy. Get me wrong. Let me get this right. His legacy is not on the line, but it is a legacy fight. It's a fight that I would say would add to his reputation as a fighter when he retires. D Nice said, have you seen that Wilder interview? If so, what's your thoughts on his mindset? Yes, I did see the Deontay Wilder's interview, and I love it. I love his mindset. I love that he said he's coming back and he's focused and he had an operation on his shoulder so he can throw his right hand now. I love the fact that Deontay Wilder is coming back and fighting somebody in Wichita, Kansas. I'm hoping I can get in a car and drive up there and go see him fight in person. I would love to see that, man. I've never actually had the pleasure of meeting Deontay, and I'm one of Deontay Wilder's biggest fans, if I'm not Deontay Wilder's biggest fan. I mean, maybe his daughter's probably his biggest fan or some family members, but short of his family members, I'm a big fan of Deontay Wilder, man, and I thought it was very interesting how he said he got rid of a lot of people that were out there leeching on him. I'm really interested to know who Deontay Wilder was talking about when he was talking about people leeching on him, and he had to get rid of this person, and had to get rid of that person, man, you know? So, yeah, I absolutely did listen to that interview with Deontay Wilder, and I'm excited for his fight. I'm more excited to see Deontay Wilder come back than I am for Terence Crawford and Canelo. Because Deontay Wilder is a good guy. There's no good guy in the Canelo Alvarez Terence Crawford fight. There's no good guy in that fight, in that particular fight. Legacy Remains said Wilder's a class act. Yeah, he is. He's a class act, man. He's a class act. Don't that dude named Dave, Oscar, Fanon, Oscar is putting on a fight there in Chicago on April 2nd. Ring cards are only for real. Hey, man, that dude named Dave, you want to go to the fight? Yeah, I think I'm going to go to that card. I'm actually going to go to that card. Bang Hayes said Malik Scott is leeching currently. That's fucked up. Come on, man. Yeah, man, they got one in Chicago. They got a fight in Chicago. They got a fight in Wichita. Man, that's just like my hometown and my hometown. Loving it, supporting it, man. Y'all make sure everybody out in Chicago go support that Golden Boy card in the Shire. I'm buying a ticket today at Wintrust. Hey, that dude named Dave, if you get a ringside seat, man, if you get me one, I'll come. But I'll pay for it because that's inexpensive. But I got to go to that fight, bro. That's what's up. So you're going there? All right, I think I may go to that fight, man, in a second. Hold on one second. And turn that off. Going to get hey, look, if you get 2 tickets, if you get a ticket for that fight, bro, I'll fly out there and go. That dude named Dave. I like how you put that, Martin. There's no good guy in the Canelo Bud fight. I'm borrowing it from you. Hey, Barbara D, you can have it. For real, there's no good guy. There's no good guy in that fight. They're both 2 bad guys. Like, for real. One guy is a bad guy. One guy's a bad guy with the face. You got me today? Yeah, you do it. I'm there. I just got to buy the ticket. I got to buy the ticket and get the hotel. I might stay over with my brother. I don't know where my brother lives in the Shadow now, man. He used to be on the south side. I don't know where he's probably downtown somewhere. Exactly. Facts. 2 villains. 2 villains. Yep. There are. Yeah. I'm not rooting for either guy. So it's almost like they can both get knocked out in my personal opinion. Like, I can't front about Bud anymore. I don't like Bud. Like, I used to front about it because it took me a long time. Hold on one second. Give me a sec. Give me 1 second. Give me a second, man. Something went wrong with my camera. Woohoo! Sorry about that, y'all. The fuck is going on, man? It's like my camera's malfunctioning. Now it works. What the hell? Crazy shit. Yeah, exactly. Barbara D said, me either, Martin. I have no dog in this race for sure. Yeah, I don't have a dog in the race. If Canelo wins, he wins. If Terence wins, he wins. There's just no good guy in that particular fight, man. No good guy. If there would have been a good guy for me, it would have been Bud. Because I would always root for Black Americans, usually over Mexicans. Sorry. I know that may sound bad, but if your name ain't Julio Cesar Chavez, if you're not, what's my guy's name? Juan Manuel Marquez, Eric Morales, El Terrible. Like, if you're not the top Mexican dude and you fighting a black dude in America that's garbage, you know what I mean? I'm rooting for the black guy. I got to admit it, dog. And I hope all y'all Mexicans root for the Mexican. I hope that you do. You should be rooting for the Mexican. But when you root for the Mexican, just don't be a jackass and lie on the black guy. Just like when you're a black guy and you hate, don't be hating on the Mexican, acting like they garbage when they're not garbage, you know. But no, I'm not a fan of Bud. Bud has disrespected me. He disrespected me, man. So I can't really claim. There's just no way that I can claim that I'm a fan of the guy. So at the best I can do is I can call it neutral. You know what I mean? Mad Mobile Mechanic Service say you already know. Yeah. But anyway, man, seriously, there's no good guy in this particular fight. So LeVar Aiken said, Martin, I got the black guy too. Hell yeah, I go for the black guy, dog. Hey, true story, man. I was at this boxing event one time, and they had these fixed fights. You know, I could tell the fights were fixed because I was like, nah, the white guy's going to win. He was like, man, why do you say that? I was like, look, the black guy's not really trying to punch him. He's like throwing punches, but he's not really committing to the punches. And the other guy is committing to the punches. So really, this is a fixed fight, and the white guy's going to win. It said, facts, Fanon, if you blacken them gloves on, I'm rooting for you no matter what. Yeah, man, I go for the black dude. I always root for the black man. Let me see if we can get some. What up, man? Greg Hackett in the building. What's up with your brother? How you feeling, man? Shout out to the great city of Philly. Shout out to the great city of Philly. Yeah, there ain't nothing wrong with rooting for the black guy. But Bud doesn't root for the black guy, so I can't root for Bud. You know what I mean? Bud doesn't get the benefit of me rooting for him because he's black, because Bud doesn't root for the black guy. Bud is kind of wants to be the top black guy, but he doesn't really root for the black guys. He kind of wants to be with the white boys. You know what I mean? I got a sense that Bud really don't rock with black folk outside of Omaha, Nebraska, and his family. Legacy remains. Remember, Bud ain't black because he don't root for his own. Yeah, I mean, if you don't root for your own, I mean, you know, you're black for no reason. Like, seriously, if you black and you don't root for black people, you're black for no reason. Like, you're not really doing us any good. Please disperse. What's going on? Relevant Society said, what's going on, Fanon? Nothing much, man. Just trying to have a good conversation, man. Distract myself from the misery of my life right now. Not misery, but my daddy is not doing well. So, and he's in the hospital. So, and he's 88. So, you know, my 88-year-old father's in the hospital. So that's never, you know, who has no integrity? Who has no integrity? What's no integrity? Thank you, man. Flawless Mentality Elevation, hosted by Dr. Mark, said, Grand Risings, blessings to the God, Fanon, my Chi-Town brother of Elevation fam and gods and goddesses of the always solid international boxing family. What up, bro? Bud will never be the top guy, even if he wins. Nah, because, I mean, this is his last fight, really. You know, it's Bud's last fight. The dude you were referring to, love the chat. Oh, thank you, Tony. Oh, he said, I don't care who gets mad. I only support FBA fighters. Now, I do support non-black fighters. David Benavidez, he said, 88 is incredible. Wishing he recovers well, OG. Yeah, thank you, man. Yeah, he's 88. So, you know, he's been on the earth a long time, man. And I hope he remains here with me. Yeah, brother, we're not trying to hear you. No, thank you. Not trying to hear your opinion of that, man. No, you didn't miss people just saying what's up to you, man. People just saying what's up to you. Yeah, David Benavidez is my guy. The Mexican monster is my guy. Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong, bro. I root for David Benavidez, but even with David Benavidez, I was neutral going into David Morrell. I was like, hey, man, because David Morrell is my Cubano. So I was like, okay, I'm going to root for David Morrell, but I wasn't mad. You know what I mean? Trust me, no joke. I was not mad at all when David Benavidez won the fight, because it's just like, hey, David Benavidez got an opportunity to prove he was that guy. You know what I mean? Yep. Akilo never said David is that guy. Yeah, Dave's that guy. Say it loud. I'm black and I'm proud. Too many legends in our past, present, and future. Yeah, I do think it's important, but you know, we don't really live in a world right now where black boxers are going to get a lot of respect, because Bill Haney is going to make sure that doesn't happen. The number one, seriously, man, there's no black fighter that is going to be able to really, like, it's going to be very hard for any particular black fighter to come up in boxing when Bill Haney is around, because Bill Haney is going to tear them the fuck down. Dog, Bill Haney trying to ride Terence Crawford is funny as hell, bro. Bill Haney out there promoting Bill Terence Crawford is funny as shit to me. Anyway, Bud looks to beat the easy guy in order to get what he wants, but now he's going to see what it is to fight a real opponent this time and not be able to walk Canelo down. Well, the problem with Bud is going to be this. I'll tell you the problem with Bud with Canelo. If Bud is fighting slow in his tit for tat, Bud is not going to be able to put his foot on the gas and just run at Canelo and get him out of there. That's not going to happen, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not going to happen. And another thing is that Canelo Alvarez has fought better competition than Bud Crawford has. So really, like, the biggest advantage that Canelo Alvarez has over Terence Crawford is that Canelo Alvarez has more experience than Terence Crawford does. He's fought better fighters than Canelo Alvarez has. And he's beaten better fighters than Canelo Alvarez has. I think it's safe to say. I'm glad when Bill and Devin just go away, they're a cancer to the sport. I think that Bill Haney's going to try to find a way to keep himself front and center even if Devin retires. No joke. Because they pay for coons. See, he can always get a job with Turkey Al-Sheikh buffooning. You know what I mean? A guy like Bill will always have a job because there's going to be somebody he can buffoon for. You mean that Bud ever has? Yeah, that's true. Yeah, Canelo has beaten better competition than Bud has. And I'm not even just talking about beating it. He said there's only one thing that's going to make a difference for Bud, though. What is that? I'm just saying the thing that I really see, the big difference is the level of competition that these guys have faced. Canelo has fought Floyd. He fought Lara. He's fought Gennady Golovkin 3 times. He fought Bivol. He's fought a lot of guys. He fought Shane Mosley. He fought Cotto. He's been in the ring with a lot of guys that are very, very high-level fighters, man. You know what I mean? The Pullout Bandit said, I'm not betting on any more Turkey Al-Sheikh fights. Of course you shouldn't. I don't know why you dudes are betting on boxing anyway. You guys are a sucker for punishment with that shit. He ain't scared. Oh, that he ain't scared of Canelo? Yeah, I don't know, bro. We'll see if he's scared or not. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I think that plays a game, but I don't think Canelo really doesn't necessarily require people to be afraid of him. I don't think. But yeah, bro, the level of experience though is dramatically different, bro. You got Errol Spence, and then for Bud, it's a drop off. You know, guys like Sean Porter. I guess Sean Porter. He did fight, I mean, he got in there with those guys though, Bud said he's gonna see something different, and Canelo said there's nothing different about you. That's funny. You said ain't nothing different about you. You said at all I know, Bud will go toe to toe, but will Canelo stand once Bud start touching him? Oh hell, let me tell you this right here, Alvin. Let me address this. Terence Crawford, if Terence Crawford stands toe to toe with Canelo Alvarez, he's on juice. And I don't want to hear that shit at all. Okay? If Bud Crawford stands next to Canelo Alvarez and is going toe-to-toe, that man's on steroids. And I don't want to hear shit else. Because you got to have something in your confidence to jump up like that and stand like that and be able to take shit where any other man get. Come on, no. 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 I don't, and I'm going to put it this way. If I don't care, it doesn't even have to be Canelo. It doesn't even have to be Bud. You're not going to carry that power up and all of a sudden you having problems getting Israel Madmarov out of there, but you're going to jump 2 weight classes. You're going to get Canelo out of there. Now, Bud not being scared. We'll see. We will see. You know when I know when we'll see? When that first fucking hook whizzes by his head. And he's like, oh. Or when that hook hits his arm. And then we'll see. You know what I mean? Whether or not he's going to engage or not. And the thing is that Canelo Alvarez, like I said, there's two bad guys in this. There's two bad guys in this. So, because Canelo is a straight up got caught cheating. So we don't have to worry about whether or not there's going to be cheating in this fight. We just got to know who's going to be the bigger cheater. Because the fact that you're projecting your limitations, anything can happen. Let me lecture you for a second, Javon. You have to do me a favor and stop trying to sound smart, okay? You have to do me a favor and not try to sound intelligent around me, because you're inevitably going to do something that's going to piss me off, and I'm going to make you look bad. I am not projecting anything. I'm not a fighter, bro. I'm not a fighter. I'm not projecting my limitations. I am telling you, dummy, that he's a human being. And if a human being has a hard time knocking out a guy that weighs 154, if he jumps up to 168 and all of a sudden, we'll see what he thinks when he gets to 168, okay? But Javon Summers, don't come around here trying to sound smart talking about projection, because I'm not a fighter. I'm not projecting anything. I'm not saying that I would be afraid to fight Canelo. Of course I would be afraid to fight Canelo. I would be afraid to fight Rolly Romero. I would be afraid to fight Errol Spence. I would be afraid to fight shit. I was afraid to fight everybody I've ever been in a fight with, quite honestly. It was always a sense of fear when I was fighting somebody. But I'm going to need for you not to try to sound smart, young man, okay? Just keep it on a level. Keep it on the level of boxing. Don't try to come up here with any don't try to come up here with any psychological analysis. I don't want to hear anything about cognitive dissonance and any of that shit. I don't want to hear no boxing hacker lectures on tree-based algorithms that allow Devin Haney to have 80 million likes inside of 15 seconds. Okay? Please do not come up here trying to sound smart to me, bro, because I'm in the mood to get in. I'm in the mood, pause, to get in something. All right? I'm in the mood today to get into something. I'm looking for an excuse. I'm telling you ahead of time. Anyway, back to a real conversation, bro. I'm not projecting anything because I'm not a fighter. Martin, out of the people you named, Canelo really lost to half of them. Let me tell you something. I don't care if he won or he lost. He's in the ring with him, is what I'm saying. That's why you can get caught. You can get caught out there with a journeyman, bro. And a journeyman will cause you problems because the journeyman's been in the ring with so many different people. Like, you just don't know what to expect with somebody that has that much experience, you know? I mean, so I wouldn't be afraid, but my chances of slim fighting a professional fighter. Look, I have a little nervousness in my stomach anytime that I fought anybody. So I'm sorry, man. I'm not a boxer, but I have a hard time believing that you guys don't have any fear when you fight somebody. I don't believe that because it's natural to have the fear. You have it in your stomach. You have it. Like, if you don't have any fear, then you will be reckless and get your ass knocked silly. Like, you got to have some type of hesitation going into a fight with anybody. Bud ain't. That's why Bud just has confidence that he can overcome it. Did you hear when they said they did drug testing for Norman's fight? Norman's manager said, yeah, Haney was tested. That must mean they used Devin's sample for. That's hilarious. Hey, I'm gonna be able to tell by the weigh-in. Crawford looked different for that EJ fight. He didn't look like that for any other fight at 147. And Madmarov fight, he looked like shit. Conti has him on that snack pack. Look, I'm saying is if he does that shit, I'm just telling you. You know what I mean? All I'm telling you is that, look, we're all human beings. If you're 5'9", 160 pounds, and you're 35 years old, I don't believe you when I see you jump up to 190 by the time you're 38. It's like you hit a puberty. It's like he hit puberty. It's like he hit puberty or something. Bud hit puberty at 35. Like for real. Bud hit puberty at 35. Manny Pacquiao hit puberty at like 22. I don't believe men that hit puberty in their early 30s, bro. I don't believe you. Okay? There's way too much juice going on around, bro. Way too much juice flying around, bro, for me to believe that none of you dudes are juicing. Let's talk about the fact that some of you guys are definitely juicing. Let's talk about that. Some of you guys are definitely juicing. And who are the guys that are juicing? It's going to be the guys that hit puberty in their 30s. It's that simple. Lamont on that Bill Haney shit, he's saying Tank needs to sign, but that he's leaving for training camp this week. If the fight ain't on, Bud, how if the fight ain't on? Bud was just saying over the weekend he was at 155 currently. Bud says he weighs 155. Look, is everybody just lying? Is everybody just lying? For real. Cal, cool it. Anyway, look, bro. I ain't trying to hear no shit. You niggas lie too much. Like, you guys lie. Like, there's the new art of the lie. We don't know. This dude said, I got paid $10 million. I weigh 155. Just keep telling all kind of lies so nobody knows what the truth is. The fight's going to be on September 13th in Allegiant Stadium. No, it is. Yes, it is. No, it's not. He said everybody lying. They just lie. Nigga, lie. Just to be lying. Ain't no way Bud telling the truth. Man, he weighs 155. But Bud, you weigh 155, man. Bud want to just see what idiots are going to put that up on the YouTube. What idiots are going to put that shit up on YouTube? We don't know. Do. Yeah, 155 is because it doesn't make sense because it's not true. They're just lying to be lying at this point in time, you know? Lying just to be lying at this point in time. You see they keep giving the venue and the date, but they not putting out they keep giving the venue and the date, but they not putting the time out there. How can you have it in Allegiance? Is it on a Friday? Bro, you see how they had Canelo and Bud try to fake beef at the presser? People had to pay to attend yesterday. They was just eating dinner together. Now they shoving each other fugazi beef. Look, it's the whole thing is fugazi, bro. The whole thing is fugazi. What are they doing? Are they smoking? Does hookah get you high? Hey, can somebody tell me? I've never smoked hookah. Does hookah get you high? Because I think these dudes might be high. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe these dudes are just high, and that's why all this stuff is going like this. Why the fake beef? Ninja is scripted, and BBE. Yeah, of course it was scripted. Absolutely, we saw that was scripted. It was almost, man, look, it's everybody's trying to do the same thing that goes viral. If it worked for somebody, everybody's going to do it, bro. He said, Curly J said, grown men don't smoke hookah. He said, no, hookah doesn't get you high. Maybe a tobacco buzz at most. Okay. All right. Well, damn it. What the fuck is wrong with turkey then? Then what the hell is wrong with turkey, man? It's funny how there's no rematch clause, but Max said there will be the bigger the fight ever unless the rematch does bigger numbers. How? What numbers are they going to do? What's the definition of bigger? You're giving the fight away for free on Netflix. The second fight, this will be the big. Hold on. It's funny how there's no rematch clause, but Maymax said this will be the biggest fight ever. Is it ever okay for a fight just to be a good fight? Or does every fight have to be the biggest fight ever? Bud said no rematch because he's retiring. This is his last payday. Then Bud's not going to win the fight. We'll see. We'll see. Phoenix the Assassin says, Alicia, let me put the link in the chat, bro. Shakur did 1 million views on ESPN for free. So I get what Max is saying. Why would you say that? I don't get Hunter Young. What was that? I don't get that. What if Shakur had a million people watch for free? That's what everybody did on ESPN. That's what you should be doing on ESPN. What up, Phoenix?
Hey, what's up, Phoenix? Good, man?
Good, man. I'm chilling, bro. Just, going through life, bro. Much love to everybody in the super chat and everybody in the Cash App. If you guys decide to support, that is how we're able to do the channel. So thank you guys so much. Go ahead, bro. What's on your mind, man?
Man, this weekend was funny. Like, man. Like, a lot of people out there exposing themselves, not even realizing it. Like, so they got they're really trying to draw up was it Richardson Hitchens and Devin Haney. But you see, he had to run up on Bill. While Bill was
Who ran up on Richardson Hitchens? Ran up on Bill?
Yeah, while Bill was in the middle, like he was out there standing on the sidewalk, had hella people around him with their phones recording while he was talking. Had one person out there with a camera. He was out there trying to, I guess, sell the fight between Devin and Richardson. And Richardson came up, he's like, nah, your son gonna be easy work in the real fight, just like he was in the sparring. And they're like, man, Bill was talking about, so you ducking the fight. You don't want to fight now? But now you were saying you want to fight at 147. Now you want 140. What's up? It's like, come on, Bill, you talking and Devin ain't there. Why is Richardson Hitchens there? And you talking about your son fighting him and Devin is nowhere to be seen. Like, come on. Devin can't even handle beef on his own. Or talking to people about his fights on his own. He got Bill out there still. So yeah. It looks like they're trying to do that and set that up for whatever appearance they think Devin was going to try to make on August 16th, if that's even still a thing. And then they got that press conference for Bud and Canelo that was part of that like Fight Fanatics thing they did in New York. So like that, they had to pay $70 to go ahead and get into the press conference, like anybody who was going, because it was part of that event up there. So if you ain't pay, you ain't get in. And then they're going ahead and starting this whole shoving match and shit. Like, come on, like y'all gonna pretend we didn't just see y'all eating dinner with turkey the other day? Like, what y'all fighting over what side of the table y'all sitting on now? Or what you mad that Turkey want to hold Canelo's hand more than yours? Or maybe Turkey is upset because Canelo's like, yeah, I know Turkey supports you, bud. I know Turkey's in your corner, but he's gonna be real sad on that day. Maybe Turkey is mad that Canelo has said that. Who knows? But yeah, and things is like, come on, man, y'all ain't even got organic beef. This is like that Impossible Meat shit that people be trying to say. Like,
Beyond Beef and shit. That's fucking crazy.
I know, right?
Beyond Beef, man. That ain't no real man.
And then we got Lamont Roach.
Real beef is the real beef. Real beef is David Benavidez and Canelo. That's where real beef is, bro.
Exactly, or even Boots and Bud. Like,
yeah,
come
Boots
on.
and Bud, yeah. But those fights, but we're getting this shit with Max Kellerman, bro.
And they want to bring back Jim Lampley too. They want to bring back Jim Lampley and Max Kellerman. Have the OG cat, man. If they go with Dick, is Larry Merchant even still alive? Where he at? Or he in retirement home?
Larry Merchant, but Larry Merchant can't. He can't come on TV because he's got something going on with his skin, man. I don't know if he's got like some type of skin cancer or something. But if you look at his face, it's like real patchy and like,
Oh,
yeah, like he's got something. Larry Merchant, I think Larry Merchant might be pushing 90. Like Larry
yeah.
Merchant. Let me see how old Larry Merchant is. Larry Merchant might be
Huh?
pushing 90.
I thought Jim Lampley was up there too, like 70s, 80s or something. But they've been at it for a minute.
Larry
But yeah,
Merchant is
like,
oh yeah, Larry Merchant's 94.
damn.
Yeah, he's 94. Yeah, you can tell, man. He's like, yeah, he was hating for a long time.
I know. I think he might be one of the few in the
Yeah,
hating
Jim
game better
Lampley's
than me.
76. Jim Lampley's 76.
Okay, okay. Man, and then they got man, you see Lamont Roach?
Lamont Roach sitting next to I saw him take a picture with the dude from Cigar Talk.
Man, he went out there blazed. Like he was listening to that Afro man. Because I got
Say it
high.
again?
Because I got high. Like you see Lamont Roach? I think he was either high, drunk, or something. Like he was blazed, man. Like this motherfucker was out there. Like
For real, he was
took.
blazed for real? At the what, the
Yeah,
Canelo presser?
yeah, like because they had him on interview and he was talking about how he leaving for training camp next week and all this and that. But at the same time was on Twitter talking about Tank ain't signed the contract. What training camp you going to if the contract and fight ain't signed? Come on, man. But he must have forgot what he said. Like, come on. Like
He's going to
he
training camp. He's starting training camp, but he don't know when the fight's gonna be.
yeah. I'm like, make it make sense. How you leaving for training camp next week? You said, like, come on, man. Like you going for fun? What's happening? I don't know anybody going to training camp for fun. That shit grueling.
Yeah. Hey man. Lamont gonna use this 15 minutes of fame, bro. Get your money, Lamont. Get your money, Lamont. What's he over there? What's he over there for, though? Is what I want to know. What's he doing
I
over there?
haven't. I got no idea. I don't even know if it was over there or not. Like
Oh,
I
you
just
just said
seen
you.
that had
Oh, okay.
yeah, like I seen that had popped up. But it is New York though. It is New York though. So I mean that is nearby since they out there on the East Coast. But
Yeah,
yeah,
sir.
like I just
Curly J from DC. Curly J said, "I told y'all he been partying."
yep. Hey, he doing that Berlanga. Well, his is a little bit better than Berlanga because Berlanga lost and when it had himself a parade and shit. But
Yeah.
at least Lamont got the draw. But well, I don't know because you see, Devin Haney got that ass whooping and still had a cake. So I don't know. Like I guess Devin is the first to do it. See, Bill was kind of right. Devin a trendsetter. He showed humility in defeat that he was still able to celebrate his loss. That's why he had that cake. Now I mean, even though he had to like eat the cake through a straw and couldn't really blow the candles out because his jaw was messed up. At least he had his cake and he ate it too in the face of defeat. And then we see Berlanga go ahead and do the same thing, except he took it a step further. Was out there in the streets, riding crazy in that parade. And then we got Lamont Roach. Now he didn't lose, but it was a draw. And so, he out there, doing his press tour. So, Devin out there kind of, setting trends for people, people to follow in his footsteps. So I'll go ahead and give Bill credit for that. He showed that Devin really is a role model. Like how many people celebrate defeat like that, but they're able to be happy whether they win or lose. Hey, it's like
Don't
when
worry,
you go to
son. Don't worry, son. We'll get the win back. Don't worry. We'll get your win back, baby boy. Don't calm down. Daddy will get your win back. Daddy will get the win back.
when you
Daddy
were a
will call
kid.
it. Don't worry, Daddy will work it out. Daddy will get it. Daddy will make it right.
I know, right? Like sure, like when you were a kid, like you fall, you scrape your knees, like okay, let's go get this popsicle. It's all right. Well, yeah, when you get that ass whooped, you get a cake though. So yeah, man, he got to celebrate two birthdays that day. The birth of his first loss, and then he ended up celebrating his birthday later that year. So you blowing out all the cakes like shit. You know, I'll say this before I go. It's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy. You know, he celebrated his loss's birthday before he celebrated that baby's birthday. You know, that stripper still got the baby over there,
No.
and you know she ain't sharing no cake with him.
God, dog. You
So
are
yeah,
fucked up, man. That's fucked up. Like I forgot all about him begging. I forgot all about Devin begging a prostitute to have a baby by him. And Bud is out here having babies by other women. All these niggas out here having babies by people out here popping these babies out by other women.
Mm-mm-mm. You see,
It
it's
don't
something about that turkey side. That funny money have you doing funny things.
funny shit, bro. How you see the fight, bro? How you see
Whoopang,
Canelo and Terence going for real?
man, Canelo barely tapped that boy with just one arm, and like he stumbled back like 2 steps. Like, man, how you think? And the funny part is Canelo couldn't even get proper leverage because he out there wearing platform shoes where he can't really plant his feet properly. So imagine if he came with a punch. He can't even plant his feet properly. You know, he out there,
Was he in
shoving Bud
platform?
on.
Because he did look a lot taller.
Yeah, man, you know, he out there wearing them stilts.
Oh, okay. I
Man,
was
he was
wondering, like, dang, he like half a head taller because he wearing them stilts. Makes sense. Because
exactly.
Bud is
He
taller
he
than
was
him.
out there, yeah, because he was out there wearing them disco shoes. You know, them
At
disco
least he
high
wasn't
heels.
in his at least he wasn't in his pajamas.
True, true.
But you know, he
There
wasn't
is
gonna do,
that.
Canelo knew not to do that shit around Turkey. He's like, hell
Yeah,
no, I ain't
because
putting yeah.
uh, otherwise you wouldn't be able to avoid holding the hand anymore.
Hell no. And you want to be holding hands with Turkey while you in your drawers too? Nah.
Nope,
He had to he
nope.
had to sit that shit back down.
That shit
Um,
dangerous.
what'd you say?
I said that shit dangerous. He get you like Diddy.
Get you like Diddy. Man, Bud is it's interesting though, man. I think I just don't really care about the fight. I want to care about the fight. I know I should care about the fight. But honestly,
Oh,
man, I'll what?
I just remember. I sent you a picture on Instagram just now. Like, yeah, it's
Oh,
the Allegiant Stadium website. Their events. They still got University of Las Vegas against Idaho State that day. Looks like they ain't
absolutely.
budget. So so what they gonna do for that? What they
Let
gonna
me
do?
hold on, man. I just looked that up. Stadium schedule. Allegiant, where's the events? Okay, I'm going to Allegiant Stadium, the events.
Yep. And then you
Okay.
scroll down about a little bit, you'll see it September 13th. They still got that on there.
And they don't have Canelo on here.
Yep.
They don't have them listed. I'll pull this up so everybody can see this. What are they doing? Like, seriously, bro. What the fuck are
They
they doing?
they
Like,
hope they
look at this.
hoping they can make them budge, which
What
is
is
crazy
this?
because UNLV, you know, they bring in at least 100 million in revenue to Las Vegas each year, and this is a fight where they're gonna talk about it's free on pay-per-view, and who knows how many people is actually gonna buy it, or
Yeah, look,
even
okay,
want to
so
attend.
here we are, right?
Yeah.
Allegiant Stadium. Shakira, ooh. Uh, okay, after hours till dawn, whatever that is. Beyonce is going to be there. I guess they figured out they couldn't move Beyonce.
Yep.
Raiders and 49ers week 2. You guys, I guess you realize you couldn't move the fucking Raiders.
And the Raiders are playing on the next day too, I think, after the 13th. So
The
yeah,
15th, the Monday, they play Monday Night Football.
on Monday.
So
Okay, yeah,
yeah, 13th is UNLV Rebels versus Idaho State. And then it goes all the way to the 15th. They're not on Allegiant Stadium's. They're not listed on Allegiant Stadium's website. Seriously, man,
yep,
what are you guys doing? Are you guys just playing make believe? Like,
yeah.
hold on.
I've been checking every day since they announced to see if they
Let,
changed that schedule.
let's stop for a second, man. Let's stop and think about this for a second. This is the most moronic mismanagement I have ever seen. You're telling me that this fight is going to be on September 13th at Allegiant Stadium. You have a press conference talking about it's going to be in Vegas on the 13th. There's literally nothing listed under Allegiant Stadium. There's no event there. There's no event. Look. There's no, and look this shit. They never have where it's just no events there. Like 2 events on the same day. The 25th, the 16th, the 6th, the 13th, the 15th. That's the quickest turnaround. So you're telling me they're going to have, on the 13th, they're going to have the UNLV Rebels, and they're going to have Canelo, and then they're going to turn around and have the Raiders and the Chargers? After that, it goes straight to the Raiders and UNLV Rebels. They're making all their football money. And then they got an HBCU Classic there. I don't know who that's going to be. Probably Grambling or somebody. Come on, man. This shit is fucking crazy. He said, during the day in the middle of the football season at Allegiant, again, I'll believe it when I see it because all this shit is fugazi. Dude, what are you guys doing? Seriously, man. Like, I don't understand this. What are you trying to do, bro? Like, are you guys is this dude just high trying to find a way to break up, just trying to find a break up fights or something? You're announcing a fight. Yeah, Grambling versus Jackson State. Thank you. I knew that was going to be something like that. Dude, they're not going to get rid of the fucking Grambling versus Jackson State game for you. Like, do you know how much money they make off this shit? They don't have an undercard announced. This is bizarre it's bizarre to say the least. Wouldn't you agree, Phenomenal Show?
It's insanity.
I mean, I said Phenomenal Show. I meant Phoenix. My bad. It's fucking nuts. You've already announced a major fight. But the venue that you say it is at already has an event there. But you're already selling tickets for the event at the stadium that it's not going to be at. Like,
that's the part that got me. I'm
like, seriously, what the fuck?
And the part is crazy because Dana White went on interview talking about Tennessee to go ahead and move it.
Dana White, who said, yeah, look. They said new tickets added, rescheduled from the 12th to the 13th, and it's supposed to be in Allegiant Stadium. You see the tickets? They don't have a start time. And now they got, watch this shit, now all of a sudden they still got a sea of tickets. But you don't have a fucking start time. And you got people buying tickets for an event that's not listed.
These flies are going to catch up with him.
What is this, man?
Yeah, that's all I have for you, man. I gotta.
All right, bro. I'll get back, man.
Yeah,
all right, peace. Man, I'm telling you, I mean this with all my heart. What are you guys doing? Either Allegiant Stadium is incompetent and is still selling tickets for a football game that's going to be there that day. Are you trying? What are you doing? Like, this is beyond. This cannot just be incompetence. They announced the date was going to be on a Friday. They rescheduled it. They're selling tickets to the event on StubHub. But yet when you go to Allegiant Stadium, Allegiant Stadium doesn't have the event listed on Allegiant Stadium at all. What are you guys doing? You have an event that you say is not even going to be pay-per-view, but yet you're charging people to get in to the press conference. What's going on? Like, is this not reasonable to ask this question? What is going on with these people? How is maybe it's like Turkey Al-Sheikh is saying what he wants, and then he says this is what's going to happen, and then he has people go out and do it, but they can't get it done. You can't tell me that this is not in. What is this? How could you do this? Can you confidently buy a ticket to this fight? What's going on, Anton? What's going on, Two-Fit?
What up, Fanon? What up, chat? What up?
What's going on?
Good, bro. What's on your mind?
I think you just hit the nail on the head, Fanon. I don't know what's going on with my voice this morning. I have no idea why I sound like this. But
Okay.
I think you just hit the nail on the head when you said Turkey Al-Sheikh likes to say things and then get them done. I've noticed that throughout, since he's came out in public and boxing and throwing fights like that, I've noticed that that's what he does. And he does it a lot also to put public pressure on fighters to make fights. But back to this Allegiant Stadium thing, I think it's very reasonable for you to talk about it, because if you could remember when Tank Davis had the venue issue and they were switching the venue and all that, and people were saying they had no intentions on ever making the fight, like all of these things was going on. But it's very strange to me that nobody has those same type of criticisms for Turkey Al-Sheikh. Now, I'm not saying they don't have no intentions on making the fight. I'm just curious at what's going on, because it's kind of Fire Festival-ish. You get what I'm saying? I had somebody come to my panel and say they bought tickets the first time they put the fake tickets out and had to be refunded their money. So I'm still unclear on what time it is. I've heard that it's going to start at 5. I've heard that it's going to start at 2. I'm not going to the fight, but I'm just curious to see how all this plays out. We don't know who's on the undercard. It's just very strange, and a lot of people want to keep saying Turkey's making these mistakes because he's new to boxing, and it's like some things, just because you're new to something, is some things and some mistakes you shouldn't make, period. Like something this big, you got Dana White promoting this fight, which I think is a horrible idea. If Dana White is going to really get into boxing, why would the first fight you promote be Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford? Some may say 2 of the biggest names in boxing. Where are you going to go from there? The expectation set for you now is going to be ridiculous, in my opinion. So you got Dana White and Turkey Al-Sheikh doing this, who've never done anything with boxing, getting into boxing with the quote unquote the fight of the century. It's just a very strange situation all around, in my opinion, and I'm interested to see how it all plays out.
Real quick, Maniac Sheep, dude, stop spamming my chat, bro. I know it says time TBD, but the fact of the matter is, it right here on Allegiant Stadium's website. Make sure, yeah, it doesn't have it listed at all on the events for the Allegiant Stadium. Upcoming events: June 28th, June 5th, June 25th, August 16th, September 6th, September 13th. So it doesn't list it.
Isn't this stuff usually figured out before the press conference?
This stuff is usually figured out before the fighters' like around the time the fighters' contracts are signed. Because you got to know where the fucking fight's going to be and what the date's going to be.
Yeah, so
how can you sign a fighter contract? You're going to be signing a TBD fighter's contract? You know what I mean? Like, you don't even know.
So contracts might not be signed right now, is what you're saying?
No, what I'm saying. Ask the question again so I make sure I answer it correctly.
Contracts might not be finalized right now, is what you're saying?
For the Canelo Alvarez, no, I'm sorry. No, there was some other comment before that where, man, I forgot. I lost my train of thought because of what Phenomenal was Noop said. Did anybody call a venue?
Well,
I'm saying that. Now I remember. When you find when you have a fighter contract, it should have the date of the fight on it, and it should have the venue and everything associated with it, because you know where the fight's going to be. That's what I would think. But anyway, go ahead, Anton. I guess you accidentally hopped up.
When they first put the thing out and everything like that, I tried to go on Ticketmaster. I normally use Ticketmaster because they're partner with American Express. and
Yep.
had to book the tickets, but it kept saying that my form of payment could not be accepted. It kept giving me like error issues, like try again later, try again later. Actually called Ticketmaster, and Ticketmaster said no tickets have been released to the public yet on sale, even though the thing was listed on Ticketmaster, but I couldn't buy tickets. So I haven't went back and checked again, but I'll check again and see if they're available. But
I'm looking now. Look,
okay,
Canelo
yeah,
Alvarez. I'm looking for tickets on Ticketmaster for Canelo Alvarez.
yeah.
There's no events listed for on Ticketmaster. Here, I'll
Yeah.
show you.
Oh, wow,
There's no
that's
event.
crazy.
Look, there's
Wow.
no event listed. Watch. Let me go back to. Yeah, I'll show you. There's no tick. There's no. Oh, hold on. How do I do this?
They doing a lot of bad business, man. A lot
Let
of
me
bad business
show you.
over there.
Yeah, let me show you. Let me give me 1 second. It's just
My bad for none. I had got a phone call. I didn't hear your answer.
no worries. Let me go back to that after I show you real quick what we're looking at. I think that's the okay. See that Ticketmaster? All right, so I'm on Ticketmaster.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna look for the fight for Terence Crawford. Terence Crawford.
Yep. You could type in either name, it should come up.
Search. Top results. No events.
Wow.
It's
Wow,
not.
you know
listed.
what? They're gonna have it in Saudi, Fanon. They're gonna end up having to have it in Saudi, is what I feel.
So that negates the whole. So it was supposed to be in America because this is a fight that supposedly the American people been asking for, fight of the century. It's supposed to be in America. It's supposed to be during brunch time on Friday or Saturday. What is that? The 13th or whatever the case, 14th, whatever the date was,
The 12th.
and the 12th. And now it's going to be. Now they're going to have to move it to Saudi. Like they just do business, man. The business model is just. It's not good over there. It's not.
That's not a model. That's just incompetent. That's just incompetent. Like, no joke. You had a press conference. There's no tickets available for it there's no event listed for it on Ticketmaster. And there's no event listed for it on Allegiant Stadium's website.
Yeah.
And to the question, 2 Cent, yes, you would think before you signed a contract that you would know where the fight was going to be and what the date of the fight was going to be. You would think you'd have that because you would think that would be in a fighter's purse bit because you'd have to know you're signing how much money you're going to get because those are like, what do you call it? Material terms to an agreement. When is the fight going to be? Where is the fight going to be? How much money am I going to get paid? What weight class is it going to be in? I mean, I would think you would have that in there. But since those guys agreed to their terms, they're like, okay, we're going to fight. We're going to put everything else together. But did you hear 2 Cent about them talking about anything about an undercard? There was nobody.
They said that they were gonna have like star search or something for the undercard for the young talent or something. Basically, he said he don't want no names on the undercard. He just want young and up and coming talent. And I don't know, they trying to do some type of talent search, I guess. I don't know, but no, I haven't heard anything besides that. I haven't heard about anybody that's fighting on the undercard. And my question too, they're supposed to be adding a knockout bonus, and I heard Dana White say, yeah, we're trying to get the bonus up to 6 figures. So that makes me believe that knockout bonus is something Turkey probably made up at the press conference. Because Dana White, they talking about it's gonna be $1 million. Dana White talking about he trying to get it to 6 figures. Dana White, he cheap. So he probably ain't trying to give no $1 million knockout bonus and all this other stuff. So if let's say they add a knockout bonus for is that a rewritten contract or is that just like an amendment to the contract?
No, if you do that, you can amend it. If it's not already in there, then you just said it's not even really a contract. It's just an offer you make to whoever wins. You can just make an offer for that. Because you're giving them
okay.
a prize. It's just a prize. If you have a knockout, announcement, we're going to pay a bonus to the winner of the fight. So yeah, I think you can get that done quite easy.
So yeah,
That
she's
I
spot
don't think you
on
have to have a
with the
contract.
undercard. She's spot on with the undercard. He basically put out like a petition for young up and coming talent to reach out to him to try to get on the undercard. He basically said they're not going to have any top level talent or top level names in the sport of boxing on the undercard.
This
And that just lets you know, my bad, Fanon. That just lets you know Turkey's not trying to expand and or grow the sport. That makes absolutely no sense. You're gonna take the biggest fight of the century and you're gonna put a bunch of up and coming fighters on it instead of putting I'm not up and, of course put up and coming fighters, but put the up and coming fighters, right? Not the I don't want no talent, no stars and all that. You put the people that's coming up, like the next up. Those are the type of people you put on these type of cards. But Turkey's not trying to grow the sport. That just let me know that right there. You're not going to take this opportunity in your platform for this boxing sport that you love so much and you want to revolutionize and all this other stuff, and then you're not going to put the up and coming fighters on the thing. That don't make sense to me. You're not going to put fighters that already got a following and that's coming up to help them become bigger.
It was so sad to see a bunch of grown men pandering to him yesterday. That shit was sick.
you know it's going to be fucking terrible too. You know it's going to be really terrible when they throw these no-name fighters on there, and then the media starts treating these motherfuckers like they are God Almighty and inundating us with a bunch of shit about a bunch of more people that don't nobody give a shit about, while they try to spend $1 billion marketing these guys, and it's still going to fail. Like, I already see their play. What they're going to do is they're going to have these guys fight on this card. And now that they fought on that card, they're going to say all these people watched them. And they're going to start trying to convince people that Turkey Al-Sheikh specific fighters are the ones people really want to see. All he's going to do is he's going to grow a crew of Hamad Shirazes. And like, who the fuck cares, bro? Go away, dog. At the very least, dude, Turkey Al-Sheikh, man, stick to one job, bro. Like, stick to one job. I bet you this dude is personally being involved in the negotiations for the venues, personally involved in the negotiations for the streaming services. This dude, because that's what Eddie Hearn said about him. He's like, he wants control of the event from beginning to end. That shit is not scalable. It doesn't work. It's like you can have $1 billion. It doesn't. You can have $50 billion, but you only have one person being responsible for making all the decisions. You're going to have an organization that sucks because you can't. Like, if anybody understands project management, like, there's something called, like, what do you call the diagram for that? But basically, it's like it's called a Gantt chart, where you have all these different things that needs to take place in order to have a boxing event take place. So, like, you have to get your fighters, you got to get your undercards, you got to get your venue, you got to, do your production crews. But all of these things, but many of these things have to take place at the same time, right? So they're overlapping. But if you have one guy that's responsible and wants to have say-so over all of these overlapping tasks, nobody's going to be able to get their job done until this guy shows up and says he approves it. That's what I was telling you about, that dumb shit that Terence Crawford was trying to do with the PBC, saying he needed to have transparency into every decision that's made. Dude,
that was Turkey.
Yeah, that's why your organization it's fucked up. Because you're putting the chicken, because you're putting the cart before the horse. Right? But guess what? You have to get the horse and the cart at the same time. You can't buy the fucking cart until you get the horse. So you're waiting around all day to decide what horse you want. Then you're going to decide what cart you want. Then you're going to decide what range you want. Then you're going to decide what the colored track is going to be. Nigga, people got to get this shit done all at the same time, Turkey. So you're going to have to be a real leader at some point in time and start delegating authority to people. You have to delegate. It's clear that your order of delegation is fucked up because you don't even know, because I'm looking at Allegiant Stadium. I want to buy the tickets from Allegiant Stadium and it says there's no event. Ticketmaster is bigger than StubHub. I'm going to look at Ticketmaster. It says there's no event. You had a fucking press conference for an event that's not even listed on Allegiant Stadium. You're a terrible manager. You're a terrible manager. We're not talking about, like, look, I can have all the investment capital in the world. But if I don't know how to build a house and I'm the one trying to make every decision on every fucking nail that goes into the house, that house is going to be fucked up. It's going to cost a lot of money to do. And you're going to be unhappy with the product. You're going to be unhappy with the product. And that's what you're getting with this Canelo Alvarez, Terence Crawford thing. I can't even buy. You have a bunch of people who already bought tickets who had to be refunded. We're looking at the fucking Allegiant Stadium. It's still not even listed there. It's fucking crazy. And these are the people that you're trusting with the lives and the livelihoods of boxers. People that don't know how to work in tandem with other people. That's fucking ridiculous. How are you going to get sponsors if Turki Al-Sheikh has to be the one to approve every sponsor? How are you going to get what food or man, Turki Al-Sheikh's bitch ass got ring card boys. That's what the fuck you get when you have Turki making every fucking decision. Ring card boys. If this dude shows up with fucking ring card boys on Netflix, oh.
And a lot of times you don't even get your full refund. A lot of times you don't even get your full refund on your tickets.
Really?
Yes, there was a concert for Little Baby in Philadelphia that was just on Friday. My son, his best friend, and one of his other friends, I bought them tickets. His other friend couldn't go. So they got the verified resale tickets. They make you kind of adjust, like they'll start you at the bottom. You gotta kind of bump the ticket up to try to get a higher price, and then they slash your value, and then they take out all these fees. So for a $130 ticket that I paid for, they wound up only giving me back $85.
Wow, because y'all know the first time those Allegiant tickets came out, some people bought those tickets. I know people that had to get refunds, and that's
Yeah.
wild. And you know what really irritates me though, Fanon and Anton, is like when people say he doing the same thing Al did. No, he's not, y'all. Like I
No,
don't
he's
know why
definitely
they
not.
fix their mouth to say that as if it's gonna make it acceptable. Because one, he's not doing the same thing Al did. Like the fact that y'all compare Al Heyman to Turkey it's an insult and it's really disrespectful for real. Like it's really disrespectful for real. He's nowhere near doing anything Al Heyman has ever done. Period. And I just don't understand. And I think Oscar De La Hoya said it best. He's obviously bought out the media because nobody is saying
Yup.
anything about this. We going along like this is about to be the best fight ever. And it's like, where is the fight? And I'm still unclear on the time of the fight, y'all.
It's so many fights in the sport of boxing that is a bigger fight. And I wanted to ask you, Fanon, where does all of this hate for the PBC come from? You and Marty are probably the only channels that I listen to and KO that gives the PBC their credit. Because all of those years prior, before Showtime got out of boxing, if it wasn't for PBC, boxing wouldn't have been what it was those years. So where does all of the hate come from? They gave us some of our favorite fights.
It came from the same racist white folk and racist non-white folk that were fucking with people in comment sections for years. Boxing has a lot of people that don't like black people in it. Period. And it's just, I always keep telling you, man, boxing exists in the world. It doesn't exist in a vacuum. It exists in the world. And there's racism in the world. And it's very clear that black PBC is associated or in the minds of many people with black fighters. So there's been a call for a lot of years about black fighters not being at the top of the sport anymore, and Eastern Europe is taking over boxing. This is just the most pathetic, over the top ass example of this shit that we've seen. But the more you read into boxing history and you hear that basically, man, ain't shit changed. It's just a different day. You know what I mean? The history don't repeat itself, but it rhymes. You read how they were talking about fighters in the 1790s. You can read about how the right talk, because it's the same thing. You're talking about a black man. And the way that they treat black men, or the way that they've been treating black men, and just because you're a boxer doesn't mean you get outside of that box. Unless you can be the good old boy, the good old Uncle Tom that's going to be, or you can be the ignorant brute or whatever, and you can fit the role that they're playing. And it's cool, and you can make money doing that. That's why being a coon is the highest paid job in all of Hollywood for black people, is being a buffoon, right? Kevin Hart and all of them people, man, because that's as long as that's what they want you to be in. They don't want to see a black person as a successful businessman and see them running their own promotional companies and making money without the help of white people. You know, like Rick Glazier and those guys taking advantage of all those fighters coming in the door, going out of the door. You know? So
yeah, I noticed, like, when a fighter on a different platform other than PBC does something for their career, whether it's right, whether it's wrong, whether it's positive or negative, that it's on the fighter. When something happens with a fighter that signed the PBC, it's the PBC's fault. They're going broke. It's this, it's that. They come up with all of these narratives to try to spin. I don't know if you like listen to a lot of other, I don't know who you like listen to in your spare time, other boxing channels, but just some of the narratives and topics, like now on the Boxing Voice, I think it was Thursday, Friday. Now Devin Haney beat the shit out of Errol Spence. Like, where did this shit be coming from? What are we talking? What are we talking about, man? What are we talking? Bill Haney, Tank Davis is having his little, problems with Richard Hitchens.
Devin Haney has never beaten the shit out of nobody.
My point, like,
he has never. I can affirmatively tell you, bro, with the grand exception of that wind-up fucking punch that landed on Antonio Moran, I have never seen Devin Haney beat up anybody. Never.
I've seen when Earl Spence stepped to Devin Haney, Bill gonna be mad. You know Earl don't play that type of shit.
Man,
he
look.
Will beat the brakes off of Devin. Now.
I'm just saying, I've never seen Devin Haney beat the shit out of anybody. So
man,
I mean, for real, and name a fighter, and I'll tell you who
I can't
somebody
name
they
one.
beat the shit out of. Shakur beat the shit out of somebody. I don't know, somebody. Maybe
Oscar Valdez. He beat the shit out of him.
And Jamel Herring.
And Jamel Herring. Yeah, he beat the shit out of him. I ain't never seen Devin put on no performance like that.
I've never seen
Regis. That's about it. But he didn't beat the shit out of Regis.
I've never seen Devin Haney beat up anyone. I've never seen Devin Haney landing shots on somebody where I was like, damn, he's hurting him. Oh, this dude. Oh, stop the fight. I've never seen that shit. I've never seen him thump up somebody. I've seen Gervonta thump up and beat up Mario Barrios. I've seen Teofimo Lopez beat up Richard Comey. I've never seen Devin Haney beat somebody up. I've seen him outbox somebody. I've never seen him actually beat somebody up. And the way he was running from Jose Ramirez in that last fight, I don't think I ever will see him beat anybody up. Because beating somebody up is you got to be landing shots that are hurting this person, that where this man is walking out of there feeling like he really got hurt. Maybe you could say
Errol beat up plenty of people.
Yeah, maybe as you think that was what Errol was talking about when he said, "Y'all need to stop fucking with me."
Probably so. Yeah.
Oh, when he said that, when did Errol say that?
Yesterday.
I think it was a couple days ago.
Oh yeah, he probably will. He probably was talking about that because Earl don't like that. Like leave me alone, bro. Like stop it.
Yeah, and then you got like I said, Tank Davis, having his little friendship issues with Richard the Hitchens, a lot of stuff that Hitchens did that Tank didn't like. Tank put out a tweet talking to Hitchens. Here come Bill Haney talking. Now Tank's a crack baby, and Tank went back at him. Like now you back on Floyd Mayweather side, calling Floyd the greatest of all times. Gabe Rosado was right. Y'all hoes for the bag. Y'all do anything for views, attention, and for that money.
Thanks.
You was just shitting on Floyd, and now you ponder to him.
This is what I think. I have a theory. Like I have a theory. I feel like if Devin was going to be coming back and fighting, all these people he calling out in these names, I think they wouldn't have to talk so much. But I think since he's not about to most likely fight anybody on that list, that's how he has to keep Devin relevant for real. Because when Devin was gone, when he sat out and Bill wasn't talking and Devin wasn't saying nothing, wasn't nobody worried about Devin. Nobody's worried about Devin, and people want to see what who he gonna fight next and things like that. But as far as being a major talking point, he's no longer that. And this is the only way, in my opinion, which I guess Bill doing what he got to do that he can keep him relevant.
Yeah, I just can't believe the people that fall for his stuff. Like not being in the streets ain't nothing good. But if you've been in the streets a little bit, you can see Bill Haney's gimmick from miles away, man. It's plenty of dudes like that in every neighborhood. Slick talkers and just talk a bunch of shit, don't back it up. That man ain't never threw a punch in his life. If Tank was in your face, you wouldn't even talk like that. He'd knock your teeth out, and there's nothing you would be able to do. What you gonna do? Call the cops? Like you was just talking to Richardson Hitchens the other day in front of the NYPD, and you was tough? Come on, man. Dude's a clown. He's a clown.
Man, what's going on? Come on.
Hey, what's up? So yeah, I gotta agree, man, with Anton, man, and of course 2 Cents, the goat of the quote. Bill is a clown, just like when he was trying to hype up that Ryan Garcia fight, and he's like, "Take me off of him, take me off of him," and he literally falls into his bodyguards when he's like trying to argue. I don't know if you remember that, Fanon, where Bill was like trying to argue and trying to sell the fight. And he and Devin Haney literally just fell into their bodyguards. It was like corny, cheap shit. And then they tried to talk shit to Bernard Hopkins and then acted stupid in front of Bernard Hopkins. And Bernard punked him, man. These guys are clowns. If you're all that, Fanon, you don't have to do all this talking and overselling and lying and nonstop gaslighting, man. It's just like this whole fucking manufactured Canelo versus Z-Side Bud fight. Now you're doing WWE. Yeah, Z side bud. Yep, Z side bud. That's what I call him. Canelo Alvarez and Z side bud. Completely manufactured fight, video game fight night type of fight from Turkey Al Sheikh, who doesn't care about weight classes. Now, after you had these guys exchanging sweet nothings in their ears, whispering in each other's ears, feeding each other morsels of grains and stuff, having dinner together, you got them with this fake pushing and shoving and getting in each other's face. And it's not even anywhere near the fight. It's just like right after you had these dudes like sitting down, whining and dining each other. Canelo was getting his tummy rubbed by Crawford, who was wiping that sweet virgin oil all over his belly, telling him, "Thank you for the payday, payday. I want it. I need it." It's not believable, man. And it's like Turkey Al Sheikh, all that TKO stuff is owned. Dana White, UFC, it's owned by the same company. WWE is owned by the same company. They're all under the same umbrella. So you're seeing that there's no buzz behind this fight. You see that it's a completely manufactured fight. I doubt that Netflix even gave them money, Fanon. What I think happened is that they paid Netflix a fee, a broadcaster's fee, and Netflix said, "Yeah, we'll broadcast it." I doubt that Netflix really paid
Yeah,
them money.
because Turkey said at the not to cut you off, he said at the press conference he's financing everything.
Yeah. And that's just my opinion. I have no proof, but to me, it seems like Turkey actually put money down. And so, since these guys are all under the same umbrella, you got WWE now trying to promote this fight. If I watch WWE, I watch Raw and SmackDown. You got them promoting Canelo Crawford. It's all manufactured. I mean, how are you going to have guys whining and dining each other, whispering sweet nothings in one another's ear? You have Crawford's feeding Canelo grapes, in his mouth, telling him how great he is and appreciative that he can get overpaid once again, not commensurate to his true market value. And then the next in 2 or 3 days, they're pushing on each other and in each other's face. It's fucking bullshit. It's worse than WWE. It is completely scripted, completely manufactured.
And you heard
Everything
Canelo say
about
that he
this.
might fight in the WWE after this. He said it yesterday.
They said the winner was fighting Conor McGregor.
Oh wow.
The same
I don't know how
people.
true that is. I don't know how true that is, but it fits the narrative.
No,
Yep.
Canelo. That's the second time he said he's going to fight Conor McGregor. Because when Floyd was going to fight Conor McGregor, Canelo and Oscar dissed Floyd for fighting that guy. But then Canelo said, "I want to fight Conor McGregor" right after Floyd did. So who the fuck are you, man? You're a big fucking hypocrite. All of this is scripted because they're all under the same umbrella, you guys. TKO owns WWE, it owns Dana White and UFC, and it's doing this boxing thing. So they're trying to use scripts from all of this. It's completely manufactured from the fight to Netflix to the pushing and shoving and the bullshit promotion on down.
Couldn't agree more, man. A phenomenal show says, Noop, the Mexican boxing channel I sent you a couple weeks ago even said Turkey paid Netflix to put on the fight, not the other way around.
Guess what I speculated? Didn't I just speculate that?
Yeah.
Netflix
That's
was
wild.
gonna
That's wild. Because people
Netflix
really
was gonna
thinking
pay for Jake Paul and Canelo Alvarez. They had this contract signed. It was gonna be a huge money fight. So they were actually pissed that that fight got canceled. That Turkey got in the way of that. Then Turkey had the meeting where he insulted women. Apparently, he didn't want to meet with women or some bullshit with Netflix. You think they're going to turn around when Turkey fucked up a big money fight for Jake Paul, whether you liked it or not? Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson was a big money event. It made a lot of money for Netflix. So much so when I was watching the fight, the Netflix was crashing. And I never experienced Netflix crashing. So you think they're going to pay Turkey for a completely manufactured fight? A guy in Canelo, they don't even really publish his numbers unless he's fighting somebody who the public perceives is a real threat. And when was the last time that happened? Caleb Plant. Canelo his star power is greatly overrated. Crawford has none. He has one guy, Errol Spence, that he thinks launched his career, but he's not. So you think Netflix, after having endured all of that, is going to pay for a sideshow circus fight that this is? Y'all motherfuckers are crazy if you think that.
But you know what's even crazier, Kamal, panel, is that if and first of all, I thought Turkey was so big on loyalty. How they're over there telling Richardson Hitchison that if Richardson Hitchison wants to work with Turkey, he needs to be loyal to Eddie Hearn and re-sign with him, or Turkey's not going to work with him. Anyway, and so I thought he's so big on loyalty, and he messed up the Canelo Jake Paul fight. When in all reality, if Canelo would have fought Jake Paul before he fought Terence Crawford, it would have been a much bigger fight.
That's a good
Exactly.
point.
And he would have had a better relationship with Netflix.
Exactly. You wouldn't have had to manufacture anything because, like him or hate him, and I think Jake Paul is good for the sport of boxing, especially women's boxing. He's getting everybody paid. I mean, I expect Amanda Serrano to get robbed for a third time against Katie Roughneck Taylor.
Third time, exactly.
By the way, drug test Katie Roughneck Taylor because her neck looks like a linebacker. That girl, have y'all seen Katie Roughneck Taylor's neck?
Roughneck.
She's looking like Bill Romanowski. You know, Bill Romanowski used to play for the Broncos. Juiced up. Her neck looks like Bill Romanowski, the linebacker for the Broncos. Drug test her, please. VADA test her year freaking round. Jake Paul is good for boxing. So a lot of people, like him or hate him, want to see the people that hate him want to see him knocked out. So he's fighting Canelo. A lot of people would have tuned in. They would have said, okay, fine. We're finally going to get this guy knocked out because Tyson Fury's brother or cousin, whatever, he gave Jake his first loss, but that was a close fight. So people would look in and tune into that fight because Jake would sell it just talking shit. And then the people that hate Jake that tune in would see it just to say, oh, he's fighting Canelo. Finally, he's going to get knocked out. So it would have been a big event. You think Netflix was happy about that getting canceled? And you think they're going to pay for something that Amazon Prime said, no, we're not interested in? That DAZN, that was, I guess it was too high price for DAZN to put down. You think they're going to pay big money for Canelo Crawford? Y'all are crazy.
They probably don't even know who Bud is.
No, they think he's Tyrone Jenkins or whatever they called him whenever he's at the Errol Spence fight and he got ID.
Kendrick Lamar or some shit.
Kendrick Lamar, yeah, they probably don't
You're
even know who
fucking
that
up with
man
Kendrick
is.
Lamar.
Crazy. And the thing about Bud, I respect his talent in the ring, but outside the ring, his morals are they all over the place, man. He's the hoe for that bag too, man. He's doing anything to get that payday.
He's got no class. That's the thing with Crawford. I don't care about morals or this and that. The way he disrespected Errol Spence and Al Heyman in the run up to that fight, when he suggested that they were lovers and in some kind of homosexual tryst, the two of them. I don't know if y'all remember that.
Who,
Damn, he
Bernie the
did.
Black?
Yeah, no, it was him and Errol. Both, I mean, him and Crawford, both of them. That
Wow.
camp, the way they acted, even in victory, you can lose. You can be classless in victory. You can win the battle but lose the war. And that's what Crawford did because his star power diminished. Now he's got Turkey as a sugar daddy. He's overpaying him for these fights. And then you people who thought that Crawford was going to take $10 million and he was about legacy to fight Canelo, he's going to take less than what he made, less than half of what he made to fight Errol Spence, he was going to take to fight Canelo. Y'all are crazy. If this guy was truly about legacy, would he have re-signed with Top Rank for those guaranteed big money paydays, or would he have gone to PBC where the real fights were at welterweight? If he was about legacy, answer me
So
that.
you don't think you think he's getting more than 10 million or
Oh
less?
yeah, he's getting more than 10 million. He's lying about making 10 million.
Why would
He's
he
lying
lie?
about legacy. The guy's full of it. He's 100% full of it. Now I don't know if I don't believe he's getting 100 million. I don't believe Turkey's paid Canelo 200 million and Crawford 100 million. If he is, I don't know. That's dumb. But I definitely think he's making more than what he got for Errol Spence. And the guy wouldn't fight. He sat in his corner and said, I'm taking my ball and going home unless I get Canelo. Mertzalayev called his ass out. Other people at 154 called his ass out, and he said, I'm not fighting them. Freaking Janabek called his ass out. Freaking Diego Pacheco called him out. David Benavidez called him out. A bunch of different people called him out, and he's like, no, man, they're too big. They're too big, Diego Pacheco.
He walked
David
away from
Benavidez.
negotiations with Fundora. I know that for a fact.
For a fact. He walked away from the Fundora
And
fight.
with Derevchenko. That was supposed to be his fight at 168 to get him acclimated to the weight class. He turned that down.
Exactly. Because he and Turkey were wanting to play it safe. This guy has never been about legacy. He's always been about the money. And it was clear as day when he had the chance to walk away from Top Rank like people before him did, and bigger names, Miguel Cotto, freaking Floyd Mayweather, all these other people. And he re-signed with them knowing that all the big fights were on the other side of the street. He's never been
And
about
then said
legacy. He's always
PBC
been about money.
blackballed him. Shut
He's
him
full of
out.
shit. So did Top Rank blackball Errol Spence when Tim Black Krillin Bradley ducked Errol Spence? That's documented. Tim, you guys gotta fight him. He's desperate. He's waiting. When you motherfucker ducked Errol Spence and the IBF ordered that, and you later said, "Why would I fight Errol Spence?" Were you blackballing Errol Spence? You can't have your cake and eat it too, man. I'm tired of these bogus agendas, just like with the Boots agenda that now he's ducking Brian Norman Jr. by him being smart.
Goodness, man. They
I'm
are
all over
crazy,
that,
man.
Kamal. I'm all over that because I'm watching y'all manufacture this hate, and I'm just not gonna let it happen. I'm gonna point it out every time because
As you
Boots is
should.
on his come up and he's just starting. So we're not finna do that. I'm not
Look,
finna let
y'all.
y'all do that.
They keep forgetting that he offered this man 3 contracts. One was 1.75 million. Go ahead, Dean.
I just want all of them fake ass content creators that be hating. I got you. Oh, I got you. I got you. I'm so glad y'all was talking about it for nine, and y'all just went through that before I got up. I had stretched and got my coffee, and I said, "Oh, that's some great points." The 2 cents and the two fellas is up there making. What's up, Kamal? How
Hey,
you
Dean,
doing,
I'll be
brother?
back in like 3 minutes. So y'all
That's
good?
fine.
I'll be back in like 5 minutes.
That's fine.
Okay.
It's so funny to me, y'all. You notice how the Terence Crawford fight and Canelo fight, they didn't have a press conference, everything told you the network is going to be on, but I can't go find the tickets nowhere. That's crazy, right, y'all?
Yep.
But this is where I got them at. Y'all know it's a narrative people out here running around with, making on Twitter, making YouTube videos talking about Gervonta Davis hasn't signed his side of the contract. We haven't got a fight announcement. I got you. Because y'all same content creators and YouTube channels, I haven't heard you said nothing about Canelo and Terence Crawford ticket sales not being up there. So what that shows me, hold on, somebody's background is crazy. What that shows me is your hate is showing, my guys. Your hate is showing. You are literally proving in real time how biased you are. You're choosing to make a story up about Gervonta, and they running with this, y'all. Tank gonna pull out the fight. All this, that, and the third. Meanwhile, Turkey get the put ticket sales up for Terence and Bud. Had a fight come on in the afternoon. Put Shakur Stevenson on undercards, and they perfectly fine with it. Y'all bias gets exposed in real time. So those same YouTube channels, what I need y'all to do, I need some videos on Turkey not making the ticket sales available for people to buy. How you going to tell people where to fight at and don't put the ticket sales up? Because remember, y'all, 2 cents, you're going to love this. Remember that whole controversy with Tank and Roach and the venue and all of that stuff? They were saying that y'all was criticizing. They ain't got the ticket sales up there. They ain't. Where your videos at about Terence Crawford and Canelo and all of them doing the same exact thing, sir? Tell me you biased without telling me you biased, but I forget. Everything's subjective to change, though. So I'm loving it. I'm loving Turkey absolutely make a massacre of this fight. Absolutely, because think about it, y'all. It is June. People make their plans ahead of time in the summertime. You want to know why? Come on, 2 cents why people do that. Because the kids are out of school. So people got to find babysitters. People got to go to summer camps. People got to take time off from their job. You got to put your vacation in weeks in advance. Well, the problem with that is how they going to put their vacation time in Bud, Canelo, and Turkey. They can't even buy a damn ticket to know if they going to go or not. And now y'all can continue. I just wanted to show these content creators just how biased you truly are. That's all.
Yeah, we was talking about that earlier, Deem. It's just like Oscar said, the media is paid for, clearly.
And you know what's even crazier, y'all? When we sit up here and we talking about with Bud and all that. Listen here, Bud. All y'all people that y'all, and this is why I'm giving Bud no slack if he loses to Canelo. Y'all, all I've been hearing is how Bud is going to whoop Canelo ass. He going to do this. He going to do that. They don't want to hear no excuses. Bud fans, that works both ways. I don't want to hear no, since y'all been talking like, if y'all wasn't talking like this, if y'all just said, oh, I just hope that Bud go in there and do his thing, man. That's not what y'all saying. So guess what? Since you want to treat it like, well, oh yeah, he got more than a shot, and I give him a shot to beat him too. So if he loses, I gotta deal with it the same way I would any other fight he was in. I don't want to hear it because y'all want to tell me, well, Dean, Bud's bigger than Canelo, but then y'all don't want him to campaign. Yo, I want y'all to know how much of a hypocrite people is. People was telling me yesterday, y'all, Bud, he can't campaign at 168. I said, why? If he could beat Canelo, why he can't beat, I'm supposed to believe Jaime Manguilla beat him after that? People really out here talking about, they know he could beat Canelo, but they ain't sure if he could beat Edgar Berlanga and everybody else at 168. Please pick a side. That makes 0 sense to me. So he could beat the guy that you think could beat all the rest of the other guys and has proven he could beat them. So he could, but you sure he gonna knock out Canelo. So he could knock out Canelo, but y'all don't want him having to fight a Caleb Plant? Please tell me where that thought process goes at. And I'll land my plane there, but it's just a bunch of hypocrisies going around right now, and I don't like it.
Yeah, it's because they selling it. Yes, it's just a legion of people selling bullshit. But it doesn't matter
what they selling. We don't. It's in the afternoon.
Let me finish what I'm saying, bro.
Oh, my fault.
Yeah, no worries, man. I'm just saying that, man, that this is just a lot of phony ass people out there, man. A lot of phony ass people that will say anything that they think people are going to ride with, man. That's all that shit is, man. And it's getting real fucking old, bro. Real old. These niggas trying to make nickels and dimes off of people's backs, but causing them real money problems, you know? Even the conversation about the venue somebody was mentioning earlier. Where's the conversation about the problems for the venues for Canelo? Canelo don't have a venue that we know of. When you, just like you said, I go and try to buy the tickets at Allegiant Stadium. It's not available at Allegiant Stadium. I go and I'm looking for the fight. I'm looking to see on Ticketmaster if the tickets are there. There's no tickets there. But yet you guys are talking about a fight that somebody had to pay to even put on Netflix. It's just a real fucked up environment because we got a lot of fucked up individuals in the sport. And Devin and Bill Haney and Turkey Al-Sheikh are just two of the same types of fucked up individuals in my book. Anyway, that's my take.
No, I agree, Fanon. It's just like I said, they talking about, I feel you, they're trying to sell it. The problem is you putting it on Netflix, so there's nothing to sell. It's going to sell itself on Netflix.
Yeah, because it's free.
Because it's free. And then Fanon.
So why are you charging? See, that's what I'm saying. If the fight is free, why are you charging people $70 to go to a press conference? The shit's just stupid. It's just like everything they're doing is they're trying to make everything a headline. So like, oh, we need a headline today. Oh, we're going to announce Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez right now so we can start selling it. But you don't have a venue right. You don't have everything, all your ducks in a row. But we don't care because we're going right. It's just piss poor, fucked up ass management by people that are more into entertainment than are really into business. It's like, I mean, I don't know if you've ever dealt with somebody that, like, you know, they say teachers, like, I mean, it's just hard to say, man. It's hard to explain. These people are fake as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
You know those countries like China, like communist countries, aren't they really like dependent on a lot of propaganda?
Everybody's dependent on cop propaganda. Democracy
Yeah,
is
that's
more.
true.
No, you're
That's
right.
true. But
No. 2 cents is right because I lived in dictatorships. I lived briefly not briefly. I've lived for 4 years in Nicaragua. Nicaragua's like Cuba. It's like Venezuela. Very closed off, like China, like Iran, like Syria. Dictatorships only have propaganda. They try to ban
Bro.
independent sources of media. They put journalists in jail. They try to ban people from having satellites. And yes, that is what Turkey's trying to do. That's what Oscar made reference to. And it's ironic that Oscar's making reference to it because just like with Bob Arum, Oscar owned the media for a while. Now he's on the other side of the coin. So Oscar making that point rather than someone with PBC making that point. It's a little rich for me. I don't know if y'all caught the irony in Oscar making that point or not. But yes, dictatorships 100%, 2 cents, you're right. Putin's Russia. If you're an independent person, they'll throw you in jail. Just like look what they did to Navalny. They'll kill you. They'll throw you in a gulag. You're 100% right, 2 cent.
I mean, it's one thing to be biased. It's another thing to just be putting out flat out lies and propaganda like he did with the Canelo Jake Paul thing. And then to come out and admit that you did it, like that's a whole nother level. I don't think people realize like how red flaggish that was.
No, it's crazy, y'all, because I remember when Tank and Roach was about to fight, y'all, we couldn't get people to shut up about the venue stuff. So it's not that they unaware of it. They're just exposing who they really are in real time because it got to do with Turkey and a man Bud. Mind you, yo, I guarantee if this was Canelo outside of Turkey fighting Bud, oh, they'll be talking about it. Best believe they. If this was Gervonta Davis right now, they would be talking about it. They already doing it. They saying Gervonta hasn't signed this side of the contract and making videos about that.
Bro, hold on one second, bro. Hold on one second. Some other fucking moron in here trying to sound smart, bro. People don't understand various revenue models. There's no such thing as a revenue model, you fucking idiot. You either have revenue or you have a business model. You don't have a revenue model, okay? There's no such thing as a revenue model. Please stop trying to sound smart, man. Go ahead, man.
I think that's Lil Dick Glazer's burner account. Little Dick Glazer, that's your burner account? Come at me with something different. Thank you for dissecting that jabroni.
That shit is fucking stupid. You guys talking about revenue models? Revenue models? Look, man, I wish you guys would just shut the fuck up talking about business, bro, because you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. There's no way that you should have an event this big that's going to lose this much money. This is think about this shit. Canelo makes just take it as what they say is true. Just take it. Canelo gets 200 million. Terence gets 100 million. No undercard. on Amazon, but they had to pay to put the fight on Amazon. So right there, you're looking at $350 million worth of money spent on one fucking fight. One fight. And you guys are talking about well over $350 million worth of revenue being spent on it. To what end? To what end? You're going to get more subscribers to Netflix? No. To what end are you spending this money? I really need to know. Think about what you guys have said so far. And I'm going to take everything as being true. $350 million in salaries to fighters, plus whatever you had to pay to Netflix, plus the fee you're going to have to pay to put the fight on, and the undercard fighters, and the cost of the promotions.
They said this is the most that's ever been spent on a fight in history.
Hey, look, hold on. I don't like to do panels a lot because I don't like how much we cut over each other. I try not to cut over. Let's try not to cut over. And I'll pass it right back to you.
My bad.
The fact that he is willing to lose this amount of money and spend this amount of money on a dog and pony show that actually means nothing to the sport of boxing, bro. To me, it just seems again that he's trying to tank the sport. You have Gervonta Davis on August 18th, August 16th. But they have not announced their fight. They have not done anything with that. I am thoroughly convinced it's because they waited for Turki Al-Sheikh and those guys to find out what they were going to do so that they could set their plans. So that Turki Al-Sheikh can't go back and then try to fuck somebody else over with the date that he decides to lose $400 million on so that he can force you to lose $5 billion. He feels like I can lose $500 million. You can only lose $5 billion. So I'm going to lose all this money to force you to lose money. And that's why he's not giving out the date. Connect the dots. KO Boxing has been talking about for a while that Turki Al-Sheikh and these guys have been playing with fucking venues. Now you have him with all this money and all this stuff getting paid out, but you still don't have a fucking venue. There's no venue. As of right now, there's no venue. There's a date, there's a fight, but there's no venue. You can go to Allegiant Stadium, there's no venue there. There's no tickets for sale on Ticketmaster. This is just some perverted make-believe bullshit going on. Like, I can't even get, at this point, it's hard for me to get my head around this bomb that they're dropping on the boxing world, bro. You're going to get fighters used to $100 million, $200 million paydays that are never going to come again. It's frustrating to see young black people participating in this. It's frustrating to see you guys sell your soul for the destruction of boxing. And then you got these morons going to come talk to me like they a revenue model. What is a revenue model? You mean I don't understand cryptocurrency splits with real money? You're fucking right. I don't want to get paid in no cryptocurrency if that's what your revenue model is. You don't understand this revenue model. I'm going to pay you in cash, but over here I'm going to pay you in crypto. I know I've worked with management consultants for a long time, bro. I've sold for management consultants. Fuck off and give me my money. I don't need your alternative revenue models, bro. I need for you to pay me in my money that I can put in my bank account. I'm interested in revenue models when I'm a partner in your business and I'm going to be partnered with you and I'm going to get revenue from everybody else. But that's not the deal that you're doing. So don't give me no employment bonus structure that is not going to work for me. I want my cash money. And you dumbasses that come around telling fighters that they need to take different revenue models, part crypto, part cash, you're nothing but them little pimps that would go to little black neighborhoods, see kids singing on the street and say, "Hey, I can get you a record deal as long as you make me the co-author of the song." You guys are dumb. If you ever take cryptocurrency over real hard cash money, you are believing in a Jack and the Beanstalk fucking tale where you're going to get these magic beans and they're going to float you to heaven. No, you're going to ruin the lives of a lot of young fighters, bro. Look at what they're already doing to the undercard. There's nobody on that undercard. You got $400 million to spend on a fight, but you can't pay undercard fighters? Nigga, you're washing money. You're washing money. I don't care at what level you're washing this money, but you're doing something. There ain't no reason for a $400 million fight. That's what they're saying it is. $400 million in losses just to see Canelo and Terence fight? No, bro. Turkey Al-Sheikh they're on some other shit with this bullshit. But don't worry. Y'all shit'll hit the fan eventually, and I'm gonna love watching it happen. Go ahead, come on. I'm sorry I cut you off.
I had a question for Nine.
Yeah.
Like when you usually pay for things or things like that, and it's like some exorbitant amount, don't you get like some type of investigation or something like that? Isn't that like a trigger for something? Or does that not apply for boxing because
I know
numbers could be all over the place?
I know that they check anytime you have large transactions. I actually got to get off the phone, guys, because like I said, my dad's in the hospital, so I think I got to get off now.
All right, for now.
Sorry.
Yeah, man. Let me get back with y'all, man. We'll chop it up tomorrow.
I'm sorry,
All right,
Fanon, to hear that. God bless your father, Fanon. May God bless him and heal him. I'm praying for him.
Thank you
for the opportunity once again, Fanon. God bless.
Anytime. All right, y'all. I got to go, though. Peace.
All right, man. Peace. Have a good day.
All right, bet.